day-to-day. Definitely what kind of writing do you use?
Okay, anytime.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Conscious Life Expo. Thank you for coming and enduring all the passage, the great rite of passage to get into the facility today. It was quite challenging, I'm sure. Thank you again for coming. Today we are honored to feature Gary Quinn, who's a best-selling author and a motivational life coach, and the founder of Touchstone for Life Coaching. He is an author of Living in the Spiritual Zone and has been featured in the New York Times In Style and Fox Television. So come on within, and let's give a mighty big welcome to the mighty Quinn.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I don't usually use or stand at a mic because it's informal, and I think it's better to connect to all of your energies. And some of you may know me, some of you may not. Some of you have worked with me in the past. This class is called Living in the Spiritual Zone because it's really about what is your potential or what is your inner, let's say, your goals, or what is it that you really want to become. And in today's workshop, I'm going to touch on various levels of what is important and what the, let's say, the catalyst to you to be your best. And what is it, why people come to events to really change their thoughts or change their energy is to regroup or to revitalize what the old self is. Now, the old self is what you thought you were many years ago or what you thought you were when you were growing up. Today, it's about, I want you to really start to think unlimited, about living without limits, about really getting clear on what is it that you really want to be in this world. See, in this world, we have an opportunity to change every minute of the day, but we get very caught up in what's going on, our titles, maybe our education, our background, and you have to understand that most of us come in with a set of rules. So I want you today to break those rules, to know that there are no rules, and that the only rules and the beliefs that we're going to create today are exactly what you want to really be. And I want you to start to really think big. So what I want you to do is to really be honest. We're not here to judge. We're not here to break anybody down. We're here to bring up the energy or the volume of who you are and who you want to be. Because everybody has unlimited potential. Everybody can create their dream if they start to know that at any moment we can change our thoughts. And look at the media right now. Look at The Secret. How many of you have seen The Secret? I've been teaching those principles for 9 years, and everybody thinks, oh, this is really new stuff. Nothing is new. You are new. So today is a new beginning that every moment is about you. And it's not ego. It's about living the words that you want to be known for. So if people meet you first time, what are the words that you want them to walk away with when they say, wow, John is, or Mark is, or, Akiko is? What are the words? Is it love? Is it confused? Trust? Compassion? She seems a little fearful, or he seems a little fearful. Wisdom? Knowledge? So I want you to pick a word, or pick some words that you might feel is part of your, let's say, in your mind of what you want to be, or what you might aspire to be. So I want to just touch on a certain amount. I want you to start to really understand that we're here to give you a map of where you want to be in life. Meaning, you have a map. Most people, if you ask them, what do you want? Where are you going? They go, I don't know. If you were in a boat traveling to Europe, would you want someone who just graduated from college, who maybe did a couple of sailboats driving that ship? Or would you want a captain who's been working for 20 years and he knows the sea? Which would you feel comfortable taking? Probably the captain. have to know that you're in charge of actually finding the captain within you. You are the captain. So you have to know that at any moment you can change course, you cannot get on the boat, you can decide what passengers you want to let in. So most people, are playing drama every day in their life. How many of you know these people who all they talk about is negative things or drama? We all had them or have them. Or they'll call you on the phone, and the minute they speak to you, they start complaining. Those are vampires. Get rid of them. Hang up, say, I lost my cell. It's gone. I don't know what happened to you. You want to disengage from the negativity because that will take away from your light. See, we're just light energy. So you have to know there's no beginning, no middle or end to your life. It's an ongoing thing. So if you want to live the life that you've been waiting to live, this is it. Today, not next year, not next month, not 20 years from now, but right now. So I want you to really choose the words that you would say you would be branded as a company if you were moving into the world of the New York Stock Exchange or that someone wanted to purchase you. What would the words be for you? If I said, people meet you for the first time, who are you?
Well, loving is one big one for me.
Okay.
A person who's clear and focused and able to help other people find their own clarity.
So let's say confident, loving. What else? Passionate. Good. All right. So are you using those words 24/7?
No.
Okay. Now, is your life headed or has it been going the way you wanted it to go?
In some ways, and not all. Not
okay.
completely.
Now, part of the problem is that she hasn't lived the words 24/7. Right. When people ask you, how are you, what do you usually say? And they say, hey, how are you?
I usually say,
I'm
great.
Okay.
But sometimes I say, okay.
Okay. So if you're saying okay or I'm just getting by, or if you say great and you really don't believe it, you're not going to activate that energy into the universe and you're not going to see a result. So you have to understand when people say, how are you? You should immediately say, I'm great. Now what if they say, if you don't believe it, you're not going to activate the electrical charge of your energy, thought, action, and end result. So if there's an attachment to an electrical charge of the emotion, you're going to all of a sudden start to connect through the synchronicity of the universe. So what if everybody every day of the day, when you wake up, they say, how are you? And you say, I'm great. Most people go, oh, what's wrong with you? Why are you so great? Your answer is, everything's wonderful. I can't talk about it right now. Because then they'll say, what's going on? And then you have to explain. So what if you just say, everything's great. It's all in the I'll let you know when it's done. End of story. But you've left on a high energy and they say, you're great. Oh, she must be great. Oh, okay. Sally, did you know she's great? Okay. So you have to understand that's the energy you have to be. All right. What's your name?
Joshua.
Joshua. Okay. What are the words Joshua would like to be in life or already is?
Compassionate, courageous, leadership.
Okay, compassionate, courageous, and leadership. Now, are you currently moving in that place every day?
Moving.
Meaning
like
being, activating it,
Not
speaking.
24/7.
Okay, here's where we have to get on key. If you're singing a song, sometimes you're on key and you're not on key. You have to be consistent no matter whether you're singing in a club, whether you're singing on stage, in a Broadway show, studio. Joshua has to be on key. So if you start to activate that energy every day, then you're going to start to see a different energy attracted to you. So Joshua, if I said you could be, have, or do anything in your life, stand up. What would that be? I'm going to tie my shoe. What would that be, Joshua? If I said to you, you could be, have, or do anything in life, what would that be?
Right now, I'm in the process of...
Here,
having-
stand this way so people can see.
Right now, I'm in the process of having a book I just wrote be published and get to 1 million girls by the end of 2007. That is my goal.
Okay. What else do you want to create or be?
I want to be compassionate leadership in the community.
Okay. Now, you have to see right here, he made a mistake. We're going to, it's not a, it's just an adjustment. If I said you were going on the stock exchange and you're the company and you're getting investors from that actually pitch, you might have a couple people put in some money, but they might not understand. Now, in order to have clarity, you have to have the words and the energy just as if we said, I'm great. So, when I said to Joshua, what would you like to have, be, and create, I'm going to answer it, and you tell me if you'd sign this, and would you all tune in and give him money to invest in this mission statement of his new company. All right? Ready, go. I'm going to answer it. I have a worldwide hit book, New York Times bestseller, traveling the world for women, making unlimited amounts of monies, making a difference in my community, writing and speaking and traveling the world right now.
Yeah.
Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry?
It's a really vibration, high vibration.
Okay, that's a high vibration. Now,
Got it.
Joshua, if you had that,
Yes.
how would you feel? If you knew that was happening,
That would be amazing.
okay, you'd probably wake up excited, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Okay, are you currently waking up with that feeling? Sometimes?
Sometimes.
Okay, you have to activate, you're making a duplicate.
Okay.
So if you wake up every morning, example, many years ago, my very first book, I didn't have a book deal. I had one chapter, this was in 2000. I didn't know anyone in the publishing business. I didn't know anything. I was doing something else. But my intention was, I have a hit book worldwide that empowers people now. Boom. In 2 weeks, I'm on an airplane going to Atlanta. There's a woman sitting next to me, and I don't really speak to people on planes, but now I do. And she said, what do you do? And I said, I wrote a hit book. She goes, oh, really? What's it about? I said, well, it's about changing your life. And she said, oh, wow, well, my best friend is an agent in San Francisco. You should talk to her. 2 weeks later, I spoke to this woman. A month later, she became my agent. And 3 months later, I had a $120,000 book deal with Random House in New York City. Now, how did that work? Because action, the thought follows the action, follows the end result. Now, another example. I was in the office with the people at Random House, and they said, well, we only give new authors 3 cities. I said, no, I'm going to do a world book tour. They thought I was completely mad, crackers. And so I said, no, I'm doing a world book tour. They said, no, we only give authors 3 cities. I said, no, I'm doing a world book tour. I came back to Los Angeles. I found a t-shirt company on Venice Boulevard, some t-shirt place. I printed up t-shirts that said, may the angels be with you, world book tour. I picked every city like a rock star that I wanted to go to. I printed them up. I mailed them. I had 100 of them. David Kay's t-shirts, I remember. And I printed them up, mailed them to radio stations. I sent 30 to Random House, to people. But I kept saying, I kept affirming to all my clients, they would say, when's your book coming out? I said, I'm doing a world book tour. And they go, oh, well, tell us when it is. Now, 3 months later, a woman from the Learning Annex who gave me my first gig at the Learning Annex, she said, remember when you gave me a private session and you told me this was going to happen and you said I was going to do tours and agents and blah, blah, blah. I said, no, not really. But she said it happened. I want to do your tour. And she flew to New York City. She went into Random House. She said, I want to do his book tour. I had a 40-city book tour with the first book, which made it a bestseller. How did that happen? Because the action, the thought, and applying the energy of acting as if. So you have to walk around. We're going to do a little exercise here. I did this with someone in a class probably about a year ago. She couldn't sell her book. She didn't have a publisher. And I said to her, you're walking around just saying, hi, I'm Wendy and I'm an author. I said, that's not good enough. You're not connecting the vibration with the thought. I made her go to every in the class and say, "Hi, I'm Wendy. I'm a New York Times bestseller now," and she met the person. She did it for 50 times. She started to believe it. Guess what? A month later, she sold her book to Avon Books in New York City, and her book was like, she made the cutoff for the New York Times bestseller. And she's traveling now. Her name is Wendy Waris. So your homework, what we're going to do real quick here is you're going to go to every person and you're going to go up to them and you're going to say, "Hi, I'm Joshua. I'm a New York Times best-selling author." And if you don't believe him, you do not let him go. You continue to say, "Who are you?" Until what this little exercise is, connecting the words with the feeling. Because as soon as Joshua connects it, you might have a deal this weekend, someone here. Okay, so start. Ready, go.
Hi, I'm Joshua. I'm a New York Times bestseller.
Do you believe him?
About halfway.
Okay. So I want you to look at the person and I want you to breathe. And we're going to talk about breathing, how important it is. And then I want you to ask him, say, "Who are you?" And you're going to say, "Joshua, hi, I'm Joshua." And I want you to connect. I want you to connect, okay? Try it again.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Joshua. I'm a New York Times bestseller.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Joshua. I've written a book, New York Times bestseller, Empowering Girls.
Awesome.
Did you believe it? Okay, keep saying it.
Hi, I'm Joshua. I've written a book, New York Times bestseller. It's for empowering girls all over the world. It's reached 1 million girls already.
Oh, that's excellent.
Okay, keep going.
Hi, I'm Joshua. Actually, hold on. Hi.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. He's not breathing. Hi, I'm Joshua. Hi. I want you to
Well, you know,
breathe.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. If you're a New York Times bestseller, you're going to be shaking a lot of hands going up to people. They're going to go, "Excuse me, who are you?" "I'm Joshua. Nice to meet you. I'm a New York Times bestseller." And you know the book is great. Think of it, okay, if you all of a sudden, okay, we're going to do a little exercise. Okay, Joshua, I want you to walk. This is your fashion show. That square here, I want you to walk to me, and I want the class to pay attention. Look at his energy, and then we're going to switch it, all right? So, Joshua, I want you to walk. It's your show. I want you to walk to me. Is everybody paying attention? Okay, now, Joshua, you just found out that you are actually a prince. You're part of the royal family. So you're Prince Joshua, and you have a New York Times bestseller book, and you're doing a 65-city tour, and you're meeting every celebrity at a big party about your book next week. How would you feel? And I want you to walk that way and back now as the thought of Prince Joshua, and you have a book now, and you're just going to go around the world teaching these principles to young girls. Ready? Go. Okay, is there a difference there? He's a little more confident, isn't he? Okay, so I want you to really think it, feel it, to your next person. Remember, you're Prince Joshua.
Hi, I'm Joshua. I've written a New York Times bestseller. It's reached 1 million girls for empowering them. It's just amazing.
Who are you again? You're a prince? What?
I'm Prince Joshua. I've written a New York Times bestseller. It's reaching girls all over. It's empowering them all over the world.
Okay, the handshake is like, yes. Okay. Awesome.
All right, next.
Hi, I'm Joshua. I've written a New York Times bestseller. It's about empowering girls all over the world.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Joshua. I've written a New York Times bestseller. It's about empowering girls all over the world.
Say that again.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm breathing. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Joshua. For the New York Times bestseller, it's currently empowering girls all over the world.
Wonderful. I like to see you.
Hi, I'm Joshua. For the New York Times
Next. He's getting better. Joshua, all right, Joshua, close your eyes and breathe. Close your eyes and breathe. Take 3 deep breaths. And I want you to ask him again, keep your eyes closed, and concentrate on just the words, connecting the energy. We're using the words inspiration, love, and trust in the delivery of the words. Okay, now ask him who he is.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Joshua. I've written a New York Times bestseller. It's currently empowering girls all over the world.
A little bit better.
Better. Excellent. Okay, see, when you connect the energy with the words, it sounds different. It's like a singer who sings a song and there's no emotion. You go, oh, it's boring. But when you see a singer that sings and the song is so amazing and they feel it, you go, I got to buy that CD. Okay, you're connected. All right, we'll do one more here and then we'll let you. Good. All right, Joshua. Excellent. Let's give him a hand. All right. So you saw that did it start to feel a little different? He started to connect the words with the feeling and the energy of him speaking. But see, we don't breathe, so we go through our lives not breathing, so we end up speaking up here, and there's no connection. And we're going to talk about breathing in a little while, but I want you to know that it's important for you to breathe. Because if you're not breathing, you're really not resonating with any clarity because you're too busy in the mind thinking, what am I going to say? Where if you just breathe and relax, and that's why it's important to meditate, yoga, balancing. How many of you meditate at all? Okay, we're going to do a little meditation later before the day is up. I know we have a short crammed schedule, but we'll try to get in as much as we can. It's really about how do you put all the pieces of the puzzle together for you? How do you activate that feeling so that when you walk in a room, you're whole? So we have to understand, in living in the spiritual zone, the principles are if you can stay focused and keep the energy with the flowing of the thought, but becoming it and believing it, then what happens is you activate another energy. It's as if you send an email to the universe saying, I trust everything is coming, I have everything that I need. See, we don't trust, so we get into the doubt or the fear of when is it going to be my turn? How come I can't do this? How come some people have more opportunities than I? Why can't I have that? You know, all of that, why can't I, how, and all that questioning is just based on fear. So imagine if there was no more fear in your lives, how your life would be. It would probably change. You would probably have a lot of energy flowing because you actually wouldn't be trying to control it. See, we have to get out of the mindset of that we have to try to do anything, try to control anything, or try to manipulate anything. We have to be the words, which is love, compassion, trust, honoring yourself, honoring your body, your temple of your body. You know, if you're putting in loads of soda, Diet Pepsi, Coke, and pizza, and ding-dongs, and Mrs. Hill's cookies, you're going to be running on an empty tank. Now, if you're putting in really good foods that nourish your body, you're going to start to understand that your cells are going to activate. So you have to understand, if you're having a sugar buzz or a coffee buzz, you're going to crash and burn because there's no consistency in your food. Now, your food is your energy. So eating a candy bar and a coffee is not going to sustain you for the day. So you have to be aware that, are you eating consciously to connect the feelings and the thoughts that you are about? So you have to understand how many of you are really watching out or being aware of what is it that you're eating. You have to understand that that's part of your energy too. Many years ago, I was speaking in an event in Kansas City. And I walked in a room of about 100 people, and the woman who was on tour with me, we walked in and I smelt this funny smell. I said, "Do you smell cows?" I said, "It smells like cows." Well, everybody in the room was massive beef eaters. Wow. And they're all sitting. It was a blank look, and I'm trying to communicate with them. It took me an hour to open them up. They were like all cows in the audience. And they reeked of cows. So you can imagine the smell. So you have to understand, what you're eating, you're becoming. What you're speaking, you're attracting. What you're thinking, you're becoming. So you better be aware of the words and the thoughts and the actions that you are saying before you even think or speak. So you must ask yourself those questions. Is that thought or that action moving me forward? Or is it keeping me idle? Or am I taking 10 steps back? Yes?
Oh, I was going to say, are you allowed to ask questions? Is it part of your time?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Angel.
Hi, Angel.
I'm creating the possibility of love, creativity, and a strengthened heart. And in the process of doing that, I've been eliminating things that have been standing in my way, which have been contradicting that. And so my question to you is, in the midst of it, sometimes what happens is there are belief systems that are coming up that says, "Are you sure you're ready to let that go?" And it's coming up as a result of what's outside of me. And I found that when I resist what's outside of me or judge it, and so I've been embracing it. And sometimes what has happened is it feels too dramatic, and it makes me challenged with what I'm choosing to create, especially if it's in various situations. And I'm not creating that world, I'm choosing to leave it.
Okay, you have to understand that on some level, you're still renting that drama. You're renting that movie. Okay, I want you to activate the words of "I am love" completely. That's all you're supposed to be, is "I am love." And if you are love, you wouldn't have another negative thought, because love transcends everything. Love is the strongest vibration. You can't buy love. When people say, "What is love?" some people measure it by a Hallmark card, or a box of chocolates, or, oh, a puppy dog. No.
I guess I'm confused, because earlier, if I heard you correctly, you were saying if you're around somebody on a cell phone that's talking that way, that...
Okay, disengage. So, or you have to have boundaries.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what I want you to do is, you have to be consistent in standing in your truth of being love. Now, if someone is going to try to knock you off that wall or that mountain, you have to know that you must stand or walk away or keep going.
Okay.
So if someone says, "Oh, you know, you need to do this," you go, "I'm sorry, I have to go. Bye-bye." You know, you merely just disengage. Or if someone starts to, I call it sliming you, where they say a negative thing to you, you merely say, "You know what, that might be your thought, but I know that this works for me. I have to go. Thank you, bye-bye." You know, you have to disengage to know that if you're beaming the frequency of love, you are actively becoming it. And I do that sometimes when I do all-day seminars. I'll pick somebody out of the audience, and usually love is the thing that's missing. I had a woman in Sun Valley, Idaho, Connie, and out of 300 people, I walked in a room and I picked up her energy and I said, "Connie, stand up." And she said, I said, "What is missing in your life?" And she said, "I have no love." And I said, "Okay, Connie, this is your lucky day. Stand up." And I made her walk around to the room to at least 70 people. It took a while, but we had all day. 70 people, and people would say, "What is your name?" And she says, "I'm Connie, and I am love." After the 50th person, Connie's wall fell down and she started sobbing and crying. It was a transformation that to this day it's a different woman. It turns out that she ends up being quite well known in Jackson, Wyoming. She and her family own Jackson, Wyoming. And she now does the Jackson, Wyoming Wellness Festival every year. And I go when I'm in town. But she's become this, let's say, spiritual warrior getting the message out there. And it's a different Connie. The lights went on. When people say, that's why I go to Sun Valley every year in Idaho. We'll be going in May again. But everybody says, "Oh my God, you've changed." I didn't change her. All I did was activate her light. The rest was simple if she stayed in that power of the clarity. So you have to understand, nobody is doing it except you. If you've been blaming someone or blaming that you couldn't do this or do that, it's only you. Nobody else did this. So your movie is about how do I have to activate that thought, that energy every day of knowing all of you are loving, all of you have a gift. Every one of you is special in this room. But you don't activate it or you do not believe it. So you have to understand, if you start to believe this, you will start to see how people resonate to you because your energy or your vibration lifts. Now, if we live in that place, why do you think love songs make people so happy? Why do you think love stories or love stories make people so happy? Because it's a frequency of love that you cannot buy. Look at the songs. Love lifts us up where we belong. Love is a many-splendored thing. Love is all there is. So you have to understand, do we choose to love or do we choose to hate? So you have to understand, you have a choice. Nobody is putting a gun to your head and forcing it. But you have to know your alliance is to know that every moment you have to be responsible for your thoughts. Thoughts will change your life if you manifest them in the right way and you're consistent with them. So you have to understand, everybody here is a star. Everybody here can become or do whatever it is that they want to do if they truly believe. If you believe and you only give 5% to that, you're not going to see any results. If you believe 250%, you're going to see amazing things happen because every day is a blessing and every opportunity comes if you're in that space of gratitude. Now, some people in my profession of the work I do, I was shocked when I see that they really don't walk their talk. They're very well known and you've seen them all, but backstage, they're not the people you see up here. So I was very shocked at the beginning when I started working with some of these people, and I said, you know what? I'm going to be the spiritual cop. I said, I don't care. I'm going to bust them. And I have to two famous ones that you all know, and I don't care if they don't speak to me again. It doesn't matter. If you're working in these spiritual principles, you do not bring that energy into that realm, work that you're doing, or the space that you're teaching. You leave it at home. So you have to understand, in order to stay on position or on key or on point or on key of singing those words, you have to be the spiritual cop. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to arrest everybody and throw them in jail, but you can make a mental note and say, you know, that's really not really in alignment to what you're about. I really think you should change that, or this might be a better way to handle that. You know, when I coach people and I teach people how to do this, I give them solutions on how to activate that, whether it's in the business place, whether it's in the spiritual realm, whether it's in your personal life. It's going to help you on all levels because you're singing perfect pitch. Every day you're singing that song, no matter whether you're a karaoke bar, a stage, a movie, wherever, you're on key. So I want you to see that when you're singing your song, you have to shout it out. You cannot be meek and say, oh, I don't want to be noticed. I'm just a wallflower. I'm going to stand in the corner over here and nobody's going to see me, so I'll just be a spectator. I won't participate. Now, if you participate in life, you're not going to see any results because you're going to be sitting on the sidelines waiting to do something or waiting to play on a team. You're in the actual arena looking down going, oh, I wish I could play. Now you have to understand that you are playing on an incredible team, a winning team, and that at every moment your attitude is, I am confident and strong and everything comes my way. So you have to understand these principles are so simple, they're hard. They're so simple, they're hard. Now how do you stay on key? You have to practice every day. That means affirmations. In the books that I write, I have affirmations on every chapter at the end of the book, at the beginning of the book, because it's important to start to activate that. So I want you to repeat after me. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm wonderful.
All right, let's all answer in sync on key. I want you to say, I'm great. Okay, how are you?
I'm great.
How are you?
I'm great.
How are you?
I'm great.
Okay, now, we have to understand that in order to be great, we have to stay in that energy or that frequency no matter what it is that you do. I don't care if you're walking life, teaching, writing, real estate, whatever it is that you're doing, that energy of being great is going to resonate more clients and people activating the light and want to connect to you. You know, you can be on the street, they will find you. I had an actress that I've been coaching. She hadn't done anything. But of course, she's walking around. I said, okay, Jillian, I said, what if you were the next Charlie's Angels? How would you feel? She'd go, oh, huh. I said, go to Starbucks this way. I made her go to 4 different Starbucks in LA. Most every place she went, someone came up to her, and at the 4th Starbucks, because her excuse was, I don't meet anybody. I don't have an agent, Gary. I don't know how I'm going to get a job. I said, okay, I'll be your casting director. You go to Starbucks. So she went to Starbucks all week. The first time she met a couple people. I said, go to the one in Brentwood, go to the one on Doheny, go to the one in Hollywood. I sent her all over. That was her homework because she was giving me excuses why she couldn't be an actress. And I said to her, if you knew you were the next Charlie's Angels, what would you be doing that would be different? She said, well, I would probably be taking better care of myself. I would probably do more yoga, eat better, maybe get some new photos. So she started to activate this in less than a week. In that end Friday when she was done, she met a casting director, a person who was an art gallery owner. She was asked on a date, and she even was asked to apply to work at the Starbucks in Brentwood. Because they kept seeing her every day. They go, who are you? Why don't you work here? Because everybody was chatting her up because she turned the lights on. Now she's working all the time. She got her SAG card. She's looks amazing. She's going to be a huge star, this girl. She was just in the other day, and I said, oh my God, you better hold on. It's coming very soon, because her energy, her lights were on. She could be on any TV show. All I'm giving you this example is that all of us are stars if you turn on the lights. Now, I'm not saying every day you have to do that. Some days you don't feel like doing anything. All right, stay home. That's okay. But if you're going out, I want you to radiate the light, because it's going to start to attract. It's like attracts like. You know, if you want to get into quantum theory, it's just the same if you're putting out that vibration, it's cause and effect. If you're putting out good energy, you're going to attract great energy. If you're putting out negativity, you're only going to attract negativity. How many of you know people that they always complain about their sickness or their illness or how little money they have? They just can't, you know, they're just getting by. There's enough money for everybody if you align with that. There was a gentleman, I met him the other day. I love to meet people on the street. You know, some people, they don't like to speak to people. I go to these cities, I walk in the street and I start speaking to everybody. And I met this gentleman, he was from Russia. He came to this country with $60. And he's probably in his 60s, no, he's probably 70. And he has a carpet business. And he said to me, Gary, he said, I came to this country, believed I had something to do and I could be successful. So his belief was that he was going to do it no matter what. And he said the one thing that made me believe this was I always was in faith and trust. And I always believed in myself that I would do whatever. He didn't even speak the language when he got here. Now he's got the most successful carpet business. His sons all run it. He says, I'm retired now. And he says, you know, I went in to buy an event and I needed a red carpet for the book. And I said, well, can you give me the red, how much would you sell me the roll? He says, oh, I'll give it to you for, you know, $50. And I said, okay, great. But we had a lot and really great chat. But all I'm saying is that here his belief system was he came to a country and he always believed that he would receive. That's actually the next title of my book that's coming out in September called Believe and Receive. It's about if you believe, you will receive. But we don't believe because we get into the fear of what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the world. If you start to activate that and you start to believe it, everything starts to come your way. You know, I met someone who I've known for 10 years and they go, how do you sell all these books? Are you a doctor or how does it work? I said, no, I believe it. I believe it that I'll be published in all these countries. You know, I believe that I would be published in, you know, Japan. Guess what? My book is coming out this summer in Japan. It took 6 years, but I always believed that vision and I kept seeing it and I kept visualizing it. Just as if I keep visualizing something, whatever I'm doing. You're always thinking of what is it that I want to feel like, so you're always envisioning that vibration. So if you have the opportunity to activate it or become it, do it. That you need to, when people say today, when you're meeting people here, Joshua, you have to repeat that. You can say, hi, I'm a best-selling New York Times author. I've written a book. Or you can just say, and some people say, well, are you lying if you say you're a New York Times? They don't have to know. Or you can just say, if you want to feel good about it, say, I wrote a hit book. It's coming out. I'll let you know when it comes out. You know, this way you don't feel like you're telling a lie. But when I started saying I wrote a worldwide hit book, I should have said, I forgot, I left out New York Times. So that's why I say it, because what you're speaking, you're receiving. You know, I said I'm a best-selling worldwide author. I should have said I'm a New York Times best-selling author. But I was new to it, so I started that way. Now that's what I say. But all I'm saying is that you have to understand that at any moment you're in charge of what frequency you want to create. All right, so we're going to do a little exercise here because I think it's how many of you in your day you see people that are either helpful or they don't want to be bothered with you? You know, say you go to the bank, say you go to be helped in a store, or they might be friends. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise here, and I do this in my workshops because it's important to know that the type of people that you run into, how do you handle it? How can you turn it around to have them do what you need them to do by holding your power? All right, so we're going to need, let's see, how many people do I need? I need 1, 2, okay. So we're going to have, let's see, Joshua, you're going to be one person. Okay, you'll be the second one, and Jeanette will have you third. So I want you all to stand up. Okay, so the deal is, I need 2 chairs. Oh, we'll just put 2 chairs here. This is an exercise. I do this in my workshops because it's very fun, and it gets you to see how people are in the world. All right, so, okay. Now, you're here, Jeanette. You're here. And you're here.
Okay.
You're going to stand. No, you're going to be standing.
Okay.
Actually, this is your teller. You're a bank teller. Okay. Okay, you both work at the bank. Now, you can stand. How would you be a bank teller? Like that? Well, he's going to come to you. He's going to come to you like this. Okay, so this is a check. Joshua has a check that is for $100,000. It's a bad check. And he has to get out of town and get the money. Now his intention is he has to cash this check no matter what. He knows it's a bad check, but he has to move in the energy of no matter what he has to beg, plead, or say, he has to try to get one of these tellers to cash it. Now, this is Miss Angel, who's loving and sweet, will try to do anything to make it happen. And even though she knows it's a bad check, she's not sure if it's a bad check, she will look in the computer, she will try to do whatever it takes to cash this check. Now, this teller can't be bothered. She has a date tonight, she's got to get her nails done, she's on a coffee break, and she says, I can't with you. This is not a good check. So she's Miss Negative. So everything out of her mouth is a negative word. She doesn't have one nice thing to say. And she won't cash the check. So the intention is none of you can really cash the check, but this exercise is just to watch the negative versus the positive. How Joshua comes in, and if you're in your day, you've had this happen to you, haven't you? You've been in the bank or you've been in a place and they've been very rude, or at an airport or whatever. All right, so Joshua, and I'll say cut when we end, and then you'll switch to the next teller. So I want you to go to, let's do Miss Negative first. Okay, so your thing is you have to get this check cashed in 5 hours because you have to split, and it's got to be in cash, all right? And you're there, ready, go. Speak a little louder.
Oh, yeah, I need to get this check cashed.
I'm going to need some ID.
Oh, sure. There's the ID. There you go.
Do you have one with a photo?
Yeah, there you go.
This doesn't, I can't cash this.
Well, what seems to be the difficulty?
Well, the name is wrong.
Okay.
And
Well, no, that's my name. See, I've got a hyphen there, that's all. Just kind of double check.
That's a lot of money, and your ID doesn't work. So
Well,
I'm sorry. You know,
I haven't ever had any problems with other places. Are you okay today?
this is not personal. That's a bad check. Look, there's other people here. You're going to have to take it back to where it came from, and tell them it needs to be reissued.
I think I'd like to talk to your manager.
My manager's out. I'm standing in for him.
Okay, well then, I'll this is really important.
If you're going to wait, I'd like
take care of.
you know, just step to the side.
Well,
And-
right now, I
and-
really need to get this taken care of. I understand that you've been difficult days, you got problem lines, they're very busy. I also noticed that you were looking at, something that looks like you got something on your mind, but
It's not a check.
really important.
Look, it's not a good check. And you're just going to have to, if you want to wait, step to the side. There's other people.
I really understand where you're coming from. I got it.
If you don't step aside, I will have to call someone.
All right, cut, scene. Okay. All right, now you know that didn't work, so you are now going to her, and this time I want you to beg, plead, whatever, but you can't cash the check. You can try your hardest, but everything is loving. intention. Okay, ready, go.
Hi, Josh. What a beautiful smile you have. Oh, I love you, man. How can I help you, man?
I've got this check. I'd love to get cash.
Oh, let me see. Do you have a driver's license,
there
please?
you go.
What a gorgeous picture. Wow, you look younger than this picture. What did I tell you?
Thank you so
Well,
much.
now, let me have you sign the back, and then I'll see if I can cash the check.
All right.
Okay.
Your eyes are very bright.
Oh, thank you.
You just like light up the room. I mean, you're busy.
Well, I will do the best I can.
Okay, great.
So let me check.
Because it's really, I
And you
really
want,
need.
you want the whole thing cash?
Yeah, I really need
Well,
it
let me
cash.
check and come back.
Okay.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
All
And
right.
you keep smiling now.
All right.
Joshua, I did my best. For some reason, this check won't go through. What's going, did you maybe put your name on it or something?
They're really, I mean, they're just fine. I mean, I really need this cash.
I so
I
believe
really-
you, and I so would love to help you.
But you
But,
see,
but you still look great on, I mean, everything
I
looks
know.
great.
All right, scene, good, excellent. All right, great guys, sit down, perfect. All right, you see the energy, the different frequency that Angel was emoting when the happy and Jeanette was emoting the miss I can't be bothered. So you have to know that in life, you might say you're either going to get into it with her or you're going to say, I'm going to another teller. You disengage so that you don't. But some people would love to be in the drama there and make fireworks and have security come and do the whole thing. Now you can choose to step away and go to another teller. And you can see maybe the results will be different, or you try a different door. It's like number 1 didn't work, door number 2. So you have to move with that confidence of knowing that people are going to say no, but no does not exist if you start to activate that thought. When people say no to me, I don't even listen to that. I say, you know what? Yes, everything's possible. I find another way. I knock on another door. You know, the Living in the Spiritual Zone book was my second book. 6 publishers said no. They said, oh, it's too dated. I go, dated? What are you talking about? Oh, we just don't feel it's right for us. Okay, great. I said, 3 years went by, no publisher. I was still out there, going out there and meeting and talking. And I kept saying yes. And I was chosen from that book to speak at a New York in the Book Expo at the Nautilus with Dr. Emoto, myself, and 2 other people. And those publishers, 4 of them who said no, were in the audience that day. Wow. I kept saying yes, and I had just made some adjustments to the book and the title, and I had a publisher. So when I went to New York, those 4 publishers who said no were in the book. Now, we were supposed to get up and speak about the book, and I said, you know what, I'm not speaking about the book. I'm going to speak about the conditions of the world and what the people who are making decisions aren't really paying attention to the important works that they should be buying or choosing. Well, everybody started speaking about their book and publicizing how great it was. I didn't even speak about the book. I spoke about them as individuals. What are they doing in their companies? What are they moving? Well, it was the biggest hit. After the event, people came up to me and they said, is this in the book? I said, no. And they said, I feel so bad. I passed on your book. I was going on vacation. I didn't even open the package. She says, here's my card. Please send us any of your new manuscripts. 2 of those publishers I'm probably going to do a book with. Now Random House wants to do all my books, but I'm working with everybody. I don't have to stay with one person. So you have to understand there are no rules. So you have to know that you're moving in words, that if you stay in those words, you're going to activate change. So I want you to repeat after me these affirmations, and then we're going to do some breathing exercises, because I think it's important to know that as you're breathing, you're going to start to, and this is actually a student of mine. I want you to introduce yourself.
I'm Michiko.
Michiko, but we call her Little Mama.
Little Mama.
Now, Michiko wrote a book called Mental Fitness, and what's important about mental fitness is it's about breathing. So we're going to do. She's been training with me to be a spiritual life coach, but she's going to do a little bit of breathing exercises for you guys, so that you know that when you're going to speak, you're delivering that energy from the right place. How you breathe. That's why it's important to breathe. So you let us know what,
Yes.
and then we'll,
5 minutes.
yeah.
Okay, everyone, welcome. Isn't he wonderful? Okay, I met him at an event like this, and with the breath, there was someone hyperventilating that night, and so what we tend to do with breathing, when I saw someone going up and meeting everyone and he was holding his breath, I can't tell you the full circle that I'm here. I had the intention, it would be so cool to assist him someday, and here I'm doing that, to actually, when he says take a breath, that breath could be effective, and that we could have a sense of congruency, that when he says think it, that we feel the breath, and then we can activate it. So sit up a little bit straighter than you are, get comfortable, and put one hand on your and one hand right around your navel. Now this is what we usually do with the breath. This is called the century breath. Usually when we take a deep breath, someone says, take a breath, and we go. Okay, so we don't want that one. That's a chest breath. That's called chest breathing, and that's like taking a teacup of air. So that would be like a teacup. We want it to get a whole pitcher. Or in Gary's wonderful book, he calls it a 5-gallon jug. You know, the 5-gallon like sparklet bottle. So to get breath down here, the very first thing you have to do is just close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to just take note of how you're already breathing. Just a breath awareness check. Just notice where that breath is in your body. When you exhale, when you inhale through your nose, leave your mouth slightly pursed open if you need to, and just notice where the breath is. This will start to calm you and center you. Quiet down. Notice where the breath is. Very good. Now, simply from the waist down, I want you to imagine that your body is growing roots, and that these roots are sinking down into the chair, into the ground, and straight through the floor into the earth. Imagine these roots sinking down, and that's how we ground the body. And from the back of the waist up, imagine that your body, as if the sun is lifting the flower, which would be the top of the head, and you're gently pressing the crown of your head, your heavenly crown, press it gently upward. Just think of your crown elevating upward and your roots sinking straight down. So now we're lengthening the spine, we're creating space, and the inhalation that you take, direct it down to the area right around your navel. Slightly below if you can, but right around the navel, so that when you inhale, your tummy rises. And when you exhale, your tummy falls. And ideally, it's falling towards your spine. So tummy rises on the in-breath, and tummy is falling on the out-breath, so you're making ocean waves. Shoulders are soft and relaxed. Tongue is on the rooftop. And gently turn up your mouth corners for a dolphin smile. So we call the dolphin breath, dolphin smiling breath. And that sends healing endorphins through your body that naturally uplift you, inspire you, and then center you down and relax you. Very nice. So when we do Gary's meditation, when we're breathing this way, then the beautiful thoughts, seed thoughts that he's sharing with us, by this breath, they can take root and blossom and be activated. Thank you all. That's a lot better. How does that feel? Do you feel the difference? Just a little, just directing the
Good. And Michiko's going to be teaching a class with the Learning Annex. You can pick up the flyers this month, and she'll be doing other things. But I want you to really, look, it's trying to find the wholeness. We're trying to put the pieces together of the puzzle of who you want to be. So we have to know that when we're activating this thought of love, trust, abundance, that prosperity is our divine right when we really start to know that it's up to you to activate more of it. And we can't get into the fear, the doubt, the rejection, the whys. You can make a list of why you can't do something. But can you make a list of the reasons why you should? So you have to really live in those reasons of why you should and make a list and write it down what you want to activate this year. But I want you to be specific in what we did with Joshua. I have $50,000 more income this year. I have an incredible new job. I've lost 50 pounds. I'm exercising and I have a perfect body. I have perfect health. I have an incredible new loving relationship. I have an incredible boyfriend. I have an incredible wife. Whatever it is that you want to create, you have to be in line with that energy. So we tried to touch on different energies, and our time is limited, but if you can just take away one thing, is become the word and the words that you want to be today, and activate it outside in the world, and what you do and where you're going is all about what your journey is. See, this life is not meant to be mediocre. It's about being incredible, extraordinary. But you have to live it and not be in the thought, well, where you were yesterday is only where you were. Today's a new day, and not to worry about what's going to happen to me tomorrow. I had a woman come up to me in Canada the last time I was there, and she came up and she said, "What's going to happen to me?" I said, "I don't know. What do you want to happen?" She was giving her power away. So you have to understand that the energy is about how you flow. You don't walk around going, "What's wrong with me?" You know, you've given away your power. She needed to walk around being confident, trusting, and loving. You know, and she needed to know that at any moment, she's in charge of her life. Not next year, not tomorrow, right now. So in order to get out of the past, we have to be in the now. In order to get out of the future, we have to be in the now. How do we be consistent in staying in the is the words, the feelings, the thoughts. Now, someone may try to slime you or drag you out of it, Angel. You stay in the circle right here of the word love. Now, people are going to try to push you off and have you step out of that. You just stand there. You know, a great movie you should rent is Gandhi. That's a brilliant example of someone standing in their words, and they're not being pushed off or you know, it's about how do you stay in that place. It's practice, practice, practice.
I'm so affirmed with what you're saying. I've been affirming a life partner, and I actually had a dream that he was coming this year. And in the dream I said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "I promise you." A girlfriend sent me a garter. You know what that is?
Uh-huh.
Another friend said that there's a dance tonight that I saw a vision of that I'm going. It's an old Renaissance dance.
Excellent.
I mean, it's like, and I keep seeing these visions.
Okay, Angel, if you met your soulmate and you said, "Oh my God, Gary, this is the person," and you knew in 8 months to a year you were married, how would you feel?
I have the dress, the song, and everything.
Okay, how would you feel?
I'd be excited.
How you'd be excited? You'd be, okay, look how she got excited speaking. That's how Angel has to show up every morning, noon, and night. If you're activating that energy, Angel, I guarantee you that person might be here today. Thought follows the action, follows the end result.
Totally agree.
And you must be it, that person will come in. So you have to, bless you. So you have to understand, in order to change the past, we just have a new set of rules. The thoughts are confidence, trust, love, and moving in that energy of believing that everything is possible, but having a clear-cut connection of what is it that Angel wants. She wants to create a life partner. wants an incredible worldwide New York Times bestseller. Maybe he wants a radio show. You know, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want, you can have. Don't think small that it's not possible. You know, I had a woman who started coaching with me in Arizona. She said, Gary, I really can't afford it. And she had all these excuses. I said, hey, no problem, call me whenever. She finally called me. She did it, and after the first session, or the first hour, we hung up. That next day, she freaked out, sending me emails saying, this man, I don't know, found me and has asked me to come to California this weekend at a workshop, not here, somewhere in Pomona, and he's paying me $1,000, and I'm doing 2 events that manifested, and I have 6 people who want to work with me and a woman who wants to coach with me after I'm done coaching with you. Now, how did that happen? Her frequency flipped up 10 levels. So she started to attract. Her excuse was she was living in Apache, she lives somewhere in Arizona. She says, there's nobody here. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, there's a phone, there's an email, there's another city. So she activated another thought. So hey, now I made her say she's worldwide. I said, Felicia, you're worldwide. Oh, okay. So she started doing that. Now she's all of a sudden being booked to come out to California. How did that happen? She opened the doors of light to let it come in. She wasn't closed, thinking it's not going to happen. So today, I want you to activate the thought of whatever your wildest desire or dream is. I want you to activate the feeling, and I want you to walk out here and try to stay in that energy all day today, and I guarantee you something amazing will happen. Something amazing will happen. I'll be here probably tomorrow afternoon walking around. If you see me, come and tell me or send me an email. I gave you the email on the back of this card. Let me know, because I guarantee you it always happens. When people go to these spiritual events, things start happening, and then as they go back home for a week, they start to crash and burn because they're not as high of the energy where they were, and they want to stay up there because they've been enlightened, or their spirit or their soul has been lifted, so they want to try to stay there. So if you want more, immerse yourself in books, go to seminars, go to tapes, whatever it is that you use. I live in Los Angeles, but I travel the world. I try to do as many events here. I'm doing a free event here at a wonderful church called the City of Angels, March. If you go to my website, just garyquinn.tv, all the information, it's over here on Jefferson. Stay in as many events. Go to these events. That's what's so brilliant about these spiritual events. You can just feed the soul. If you're feeding the soul, you're going to activate more of what you want more of. If you want to be the best piano player, you have to practice. Okay? So we're going to do this little meditation, and these meditations are brilliant. It's an hour, but there's a 5-minute little message talk, and then it goes into a meditation that correlates to the talk. They'll be available downstairs. I don't have so many of them, and I have 20 books downstairs that I have. I'll be doing a book signing at noon at the bookstore, and if you have any questions, you can always ask me. And before you leave, if you'd like to be on the mailing list, fill one out, and I'll make sure that you get information. And we'll start. So I want you to just stay in the feeling now of what we wanted to activate today. The feeling of what you want to manifest. Stay with that thought in this meditation. It's a 5-minute meditation, and then you'll hear 2 gongs or bells, and then that will go through the meditation of the actual meditation. There's a little talk and a meditation, so it's 5 minutes and 5 minutes. Okay? So, do we need to turn those lights out at all, or is that possible, John, or is that not? Oh, maybe there's some lights there. And can we, do we know how to do that? Yeah. Okay, so it's number 3 and 4. Perfect. And then, yeah, we can just dim it. And I want you to really stay in that thought of the feeling, okay? Is that loud enough, John? Maybe a little louder.
When it comes right down to it, the decision to trust yourself is a choice you make. We have all made what we perceive as mistakes, and each of us could probably come up with a number of reasons we shouldn't trust ourselves. If we stay in that space, we are choosing to limit ourselves. And that's the question we need to consider. Do we want to exist in a space that creates unnecessary emotional, physical, and experiential limits? Or do we want to free ourselves of all self-imposed limits and open our life to endless possibility? When you make the choice to trust yourself, it's important to make sure that your trusting affirmations are supported in your cellular beliefs. As I go into some of the many ways you can choose to trust yourself, notice your body's reaction to hearing these words. At some point, at the core of your being, they will resonate with you. If you feel any resistance, however, pay attention to it. That is your body's way of telling you that you may need to release some fears or old beliefs in order to trust yourself. Here we go. You can trust that you have the answers inside you, that you have access to every answer you will ever seek. It may be helpful at times to seek guidance outside yourself. You can know that this outside guidance is really just helping you tap into the wisdom you already have. As you affirm your inner wisdom, you will find that answers show up clearly, precisely when you need them. You can trust that you are exactly where you need to be right now at this moment in your life, because you are. In each moment, you're right where you're supposed to be. It may be a difficult or challenging moment. It may be a peaceful one. Despite the circumstances, you can trust that you are on your path. As you trust in that reality, it will be so. You can trust that you are capable of being successful in whatever you do. If you want to be successful in your career or in a loving relationship, or if you want to be healthy or create abundance in your life, no matter what it is you want to do, you are capable of success. When you trust that you have the recipe for success and the willpower to create it, you will find yourself achieving the success you desire. When you look back, you'll see that the moment your success began manifesting was the same moment you started trusting that you were capable of and deserved success. You can trust that you have the ability to change what is not working in your life. You can move in any direction you choose. Within you are all the resources you need to make any change take place. You have that power in you. You are never stuck, and the only thing permanent is the past. Each moment is a new one, and change is always possible. As soon as you begin trusting that you are capable of changing any aspect in yourself or your life, the change begins to take place. When you trust in yourself, you are giving energy to creating what you do. The universe will reflect exactly what your beliefs are about yourself. If you feel resistance to trusting yourself, spend a few moments in silence to identify the cause of that resistance. Were you told you couldn't be trusted? Was there a turning point in your life when you decided you could not be trusted? The answer's right there. It's at the surface. Weed it out, Release it. Let it go. It's not serving you anymore. The past is done. This is a new moment and a new day. It's time to trust yourself. You are the core of your universe. Everything begins with you. In order to live a life that is filled with peace and ease, you first need to trust the essence from which you create, your very self. You are trustworthy. When you come to know that, all other extensions of trust begin to open up. The choice is always yours. As you close your eyes, take a long, deep breath. Feel your body relaxing as you continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Breathing in and breathing out. Releasing any tension. Allowing passing thoughts to drift away. In this space of peace and stillness, affirm that you have the answers inside you. If there is any place in your body that is doubting your own inner wisdom, focus your attention directly on that part of your body. Take a deep breath and affirm again that you have the answers inside you. Now feel any doubt being released from the space within your body. Allow yourself to simply let go of the doubt. Notice all the different points in your body now, sparkling with light. Those are your sources of wisdom. Notice how more and more places within you are beginning to light up. Millions of light sources within you. They fill your entire being with sparkling light. Ask your body to show you where you're holding on to any fears that may stand in the way of you creating success or change in your life. Notice where in your body your attention is being drawn to. Ask the fears to show themselves to you. As each fear makes itself known, affirm that the fear no longer serves you and that you are ready to release it. Watch as each fear, one by one, dissolves into nothingness. Ask your body now to show you from where you can draw wisdom and courage to create change and success in your life. Notice the thousands of light sources within you, glowing brighter now and moving in circles like dancing stars. Thank your body for bringing your to make any change and create any success you desire. Feel your inner self beaming with love in response to your awareness. Notice now that you are radiating a beautiful light. It spreads out all around you and beyond you. Its source is limitless. As you look around you, see how you are at the center of your universe. You are at the center of all the trees, mountains, oceans, fields, and cities. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Affirm now that you are always exactly where you're supposed to be. As you see your inner light radiating out into everything that surrounds you, recognize everything begins with you. Notice that the light you project is bringing a sparkling radiance to everything it touches. Take a deep breath now. And as you move out of this meditation, affirm your trust in yourself, the essence from which you create.
Okay. Take some deep breaths. Keep your focused. Come back to earth. So in meditation, we just bring in those elements of really being whole and full and just balance your energy. So I want to repeat some quick affirmations and then we're going to let you get out of here quickly. I want you to repeat after me, I trust myself. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love life.
I love life.
Every day is a miracle.
Every day is a miracle.
Today is the first day of my new life.
Today is the first day of my new life.
I am a money magnet.
I am a money magnet.
I have perfect health.
I have perfect health.
I believe this.
I believe this.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you all. I'll be downstairs. You've been a great audience. Thank you. If you'd like to be on the mailing list, you can fill that out either here or downstairs. I know we have to get out of here because they have someone else coming up. Oh yes, absolutely.
I'm an author as well.
Oh, brilliant.
And some of the things you said I did. I Living Life as You Always Dreamed, and I do relaxation. And I would love
Excellent.
to talk at the Learning Annex